How can I make the bash backtick operator keep new lines in output? Is there a way to make bash not eat new lines in the backtick substitution? For example, what I want is
It's not an issue with backtick substitution, but with echo, you have to quote the variable to get the control characters working.
In brief, what is needed is to add a suffix to end of the output when capturing it, and remove it when using the variable, and always quote variables. Compare it to the following, in which the output from the second command will not end with a new line. Explanation of what is happening. New lines in string. First determine the byte sequence that is expected. Now use command substitution, section 3.5.4, to attempt to capture this byte sequence. Then, do a simple echo to verify the byte sequence. So it seems the first new line was replaced with a space, and the second new line was left intact. But why? Let's look at what is actually happening here. First, bash will do shell parameter expansion, section 3.5.3. The dollar character introduces parameter expansion, command substitution, or arithmetic expansion. The parameter name or symbol to be expanded may be enclosed in braces, which are optional but serve to protect the variable to be expanded from characters immediately following it, which could be interpreted as part of the name. Then bash will do word splitting, section 3.5.7. The shell scans the results of parameter expansion, command substitution, and arithmetic expansion that did not occur within double quotes for word splitting. The shell treats each character of $ifs as a delimiter, and splits the results of the other expansions into words on these characters. If ifs is unset, or its value is exactly. Next, bash will treat it as a simple command, section 3.2.1. A simple command is the kind of command encountered most often. It's just a sequence of words separated by blanks, terminated by one of the shell's control operators, see definitions. The first word generally specifies a command to be executed, with the rest of the words being that command's arguments. The definition of blanks, section 2, definitions. Blank a space or tab character. Finally, bash invokes the echo, section 4.2, bash built-in commands, internal command. Output the args, separated by spaces, terminated with a new line. So to summarize, the new lines are removed by word splitting, and then echo gets two args, A and B, and then outputs them separated by spaces and ending with a new line. Doing what Cyrus suggested, and suppress the new line from echo with N, the result is better. New lines at end of string. It's still not perfect though, the trailing new line is gone. Looking closer at command substitution, section 3.5.4. Bash performs the expansion by executing command and replacing the command substitution with the standard output of the command, with any trailing new lines deleted. Now that it's clear why the new line goes away, bash can be fooled into keeping it. To do this, add an additional string to the end, and remove it when using the variable. Another example.
would have put my small addition in a comment on the answer of Cyrus, but I cannot yet comment on answers I think. So I'll duplicate part of Cyrus's answer for completeness. What happens in the first line of your code is that indeed the backtick substitution eats the trailing new lines of the output of the substituted command, as documented. But it does not eat the new line between your two lines. What happens in the second line of code is that echo is executed with two arguments, the first in the second line. Quoting the expanded variable will fix that, echo $var, this will preserve the new line between your line 1 and line 2. And echo will add a trailing new line by default so that everything is okay. Now if you wanted to preserve all trailing new lines in the output of some command substitution, a workaround is to add another line the output, which you can remove after the command substitution, see here.